All right. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I don't want to have to talk that loud, so hopefully this comes out okay. This video is in regards to Obama, the Antichrist, crowned and risen in Berlin, Germany. And when I say that, this is already an event that has already occurred in the past. If you guys saw my video earlier today, yesterday, it was Obama in the Temple of God. Okay, guys, that's such a small thing that could easily pass us by. Okay, it can easily pass me by. But if it weren't for the Holy Spirit and His wisdom and the works that He's decided to do, okay, that information I actually got from somebody else who didn't even necessarily see what I saw inside of it. They were mentioning it for something completely different, okay? And even knowing, I didn't even know that that had happened until I saw another person mention it. And so, guys, what I'm trying to illustrate for you in many of my videos is how if you're not watching with spiritual eyes, we can miss so much and not even know it in the blink of an eye. Things will happen in the blink of an eye and we won't even know it. Do you want to know the main reason why? It's not because we don't care. It's not because we don't love Jesus. It's not because we're insincere. It's not because we're not watching. We are watching. It comes down to the question I asked you guys videos ago, weeks ago, was that according to scriptures in Genesis, did God say that Satan was the most obvious beast? That's what we're talking about here. We're trying to now interpret and understand and recognize the rise of the beast. So the founder of the beast, which will be serpent, Satan, the serpent in the garden, all the way back in Genesis, that's our foundation. Did God say he was the most obvious beast of the field or the most subtle beast of the field? And I asked you guys that question weeks ago to let you think about that answer. Because that's something I didn't make up and create it because I'm smart. That's something the Lord had to teach me. Okay? He had to put that in my understanding. And once I had that understanding, I knew what kind of eyes to watch with. It's not just about watching. It's about watching with a certain pair of eyes. One that is on the lookout and can recognize when something's being done subtly. And not always just waiting and saying this wasn't obvious enough. This wasn't some huge Hollywood production where this guy is coming out on stage and announcing, I'm evil. I'm trying to replace Christ. I said this already without trying to go back. We're waiting for a moment where someone's going to look and act exactly like we think he should be looking and acting, and exactly the place that we think he should be doing it from. Okay? And in that instance, that would make him obvious. But we're already told that the serpent is not obvious, but subtle. So he can do very prophetic and very bold and very big things. But as far as how they manifest, as far as how they're carried out, he won't do it in an obvious way, because if it was so obvious, everybody would see it, everybody would be creeped out, and everybody would say, even unbelievers would say, I'm not going to be a part of this. Who is this crazy nut? Okay? So that's why he operates under the radar, in the shadows, speaking in codes. Okay? It's not necessarily about what the person is going to say. It's about what they're doing, what their fruits, what their behavior is showing. Okay? And so hopefully from my video yesterday, Obama and the Temple of God, you guys can see how very concerning that is, of how something so monumental to prophecy can happen in the blink of an eye, and we will never have even known that it existed or happened. So this is a very dangerous time we're living in if you don't have the correct pair of eyes to look with. Okay? And I'm going to show you guys how far behind the church is in this hour. This happened in May 2017. So May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. This is almost 8 months ago. Okay? 8 months ago. And I can tell you for a fact that literally only a literal handful of people even recognized this or noticed it prophetically. The rest of the world, of course, they're completely asleep. Notice nothing. 99.9% of the church notice nothing. Okay? Even ministries that were given this prophecy didn't even notice that their own prophecy was being fulfilled. It takes such a careful eye, guided by the wisdom of the Holy Spirit, in order to truly see in these times. I want to go to a verse right quick. Remember what Jesus said concerning the times? Interpreting the time. Okay? It's not just about seeing the signs. You have to allow the Holy Spirit to interpret, which means to give the actual meaning of the signs and of the times as they happen. Okay? And too many people are too filled up with their own meaning, their own interpretation, and that's why they're too busy doing that stuff like this is happening 8 months ago, and they have no idea it even happened. Okay? So this was in May. This is Obama in Berlin, Germany, at the Brandenburg Gate for the 500th anniversary. I know literally only a few Christians even know about this. I posted this back on when I had Facebook months and months